Hey everyone, it's Laurel with Gel with Laurel, your certified nail technician and independent distributor for GelMoment. This is part 2 of the color of the month In the Mood for April. So both of these designs are flowers. One is a pretty simple flower and the other one's a little bit more detailed using one stroke technique. Right now I'm just putting white stamping gel polish down on the palette. And for those of you that haven't watched my videos before, the reason I do this is because GelMoment polish, a lot of them are very translucent, so I add a little bit of the stamping polish with the regular polish to get a nice opaque fluid consistency. So here we're just adding some dots to the nail plate. These are going to be the petals of your flower. So I'm using the dotting tool set from GelMoment. It is 2 dotting tools for a reasonable price, and there's 4 different sizes of balls on the dotting tools. There's 2 on either side, and you get 2 different dotting tools in the package. Now here I was just showing you that you could use a cuticle stick, you could use a toothpick, you could use whatever you have laying around the house if you don't have a nice fine liner brush like this, which is also from the Creativity set, but the thinner the better. So I'm using the smallest liner brush from the Creativity set. I think in the GelMoment they call it a striper. And you're just grabbing these dots kind of in the middle. You don't want to go outside of the line too much. You want to go right in the middle, and then you're just going to drag the polish out one side, making a nice pointed petal. Now you're going to want to do that with all 4 petals, just nicely dragging it out. You don't want to go too heavy, you just want to do it nice and light. And oh, of course, there you go, there's Laurel. Laurel wouldn't be Laurel if she didn't go off a camera at least once in a video. Sorry guys, but you don't really need to see it the whole way through. Oh, there we go, I flipped it over. You can see again. Woohoo, hallelujah. So again, just use whatever you have available to you. The thinner, the better. You want to go very light, and you want to just drag it through the one end just to make a nice little petal. These are probably one of the simplest flowers that you can do. There's a couple of different styles that you could do. I believe I have video on another flower where you're dragging it into the center instead of dragging it out to make a different type of flower, but pretty much the same concept. Dotting tool and just dragging it. You don't need much of a steady hand, just a steady enough hand just to drag it through, so it's not too difficult. So I had just had a little bit of lemon meringue on the plate there. You could barely see it, and I used a dotting tool to put 1 dot of the lemon meringue in the center of the flower. Now I'm using some Raven's Kiss with a little bit of black stamping gel mixed in. Again, just a little bit for the opaqueness. And I'm putting a couple of little dots around the center of the flower, around the lemon meringue, and then I'm just kind of dragging out a couple of little shadow lines just to give the flower just a little bit of depth. You don't have to do that. It's kind of becoming a little bit more intricate in the flower, but if you want to get it a little bit of depth, just a nice tiny little accent of shadow just kind of makes it pop just a little bit more. Now, using the dotting tool again, I have the mixture of white stamping gel and white gel polish, which I think I'm using Meet Me at the Chapel. And I'm just slightly, so the first dot you want to push down harder, And then as you're doing the dots down the side, you want to do it lighter and lighter and lighter as you go, so the dot becomes smaller. The dot's going to go smaller anyways because you're going to have less polish, but it goes a lot smoother and nicer if you lift up on pressure. Now I'm using that same black mixture that I had on the palette, and I'm using the dotting tool, and I'm just doing another pattern, the same kind of pattern I did on the cuticle side, but I'm going to do it on the free edge side now with the dotting tool. And there you have it. There's our simple flower. It looks nice and simple, elegant. I think most people can wear this design, and it's not bad. So this is design number 2. We're going to use some Seaside Sunday. I love Seaside Sunday. It is such a gorgeous color. It's actually quite popular. It's a very, very gorgeous pink. I really don't know how to explain it. It's a beautiful color. It's not quite pink. Maybe that's why I like it, because I'm not a pink girl, but I really like the Seaside Sunday. So I'm using the In the Mood as a base coat, and I'm putting sparkling Moscato on the nail plate. Of course, the In the Mood was cured. I put 2 coats on, cured it, then applied the sparkling Moscato, cured that. Now I'm going to take the mini file here, and I'm just going to give it a light buff after the cure, just to make it easier for the nail art that we're doing. Usually when you're doing any type of nail art that requires a little bit more time, you want to make sure that the surface is matte, because when it's a high polish glossy finish, the polish will slowly slide off the top. It sometimes might separate, like oil and water kind of separation. So if you have a matte surface, it gives that texture so the polish stays put and doesn't go anywhere on you. It's a really good fail-safe. Now, if you didn't want to file and you want to go the easy route, you could use the Matter Effect, which is a GelMoment matte top coat. Either way, you need a matte surface. Well, you don't need it, but it'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. So while I was talking, I just loaded up my angle brush from the Creativity set with the white color on the tip, so the pointed end, and the Seaside Sunday on the bottom part, which is the shorter end of the angled brush. The angled brush I'm using is the larger one from the Creativity set. And the little marks that I made, I just gave myself a guide so I know where I'm going to put the petals. I'm going to put 3 petals. I think I did 3 petals. 3 petals, so it's going to be half a flower. And it just shows me where I'm going to start and where I'm going to stop with my petals. So with the way that the paint is loaded on the brush, all you have to do is just kind of wiggle the brush to make a petal. So you're starting at the bottom and then you're kind of wiggling or pressing your way up, and then just press your way back down. It's really like it's a simple way of making a flower. Of course, as time goes on, you get better. I have a long way to go myself, but I am getting better every day. Sometimes I actually just practice with paper and acrylic paints to try and master this type of painting. I think it's beautiful, and it's funny because I'm really not a huge flower person. Like I'm a black, really dark nail color person. I love wearing dark colors, and You would think that I'd be one of the types of people that wear like all the bling and everything else on the nails, but like I actually really love this style of nail art. I love the flowers. It blows me away how beautiful that they can end up being. So I do these flowers actually quite a bit, and I enjoy getting better at it. Gel polish can be very translucent, so you want to make sure that you do at least 2 coats when you're doing the design. It definitely helps if you're mixing it with stamping gel, because stamping gel is very, very opaque. I love our stamping gel at GelMoment. It is very easy to work with. It transfers well when you're using it as a stamping art, and when mixing it with the gel polish, it makes a perfect consistency for nail art, and it gives that opaqueness that you want. So here with this flower, I'm using In the Mood actually as the bottom part of the angled brush, where we use the Seaside Sunday in the top flower. I'm actually using In the Mood on the bottom part for this flower. I'm also rounding the petals so it looks like they're different flowers entirely. So instead of, wiggling the petal on the way up and making a point and then wiggling it back down, I'm actually just stroking it and making those round petals. So once you have the whole flower in, then you wanted to put it in for a full cure with the one layer, and then once the full cure is done, then you take it out and you put a second layer on it to give it that opaqueness that it needs. Now I just put lemon meringue down, and we're going to put the center of the flower with the lemon meringue. I'm using one of the dotting tools from the dotting tool set of GelMoment. Like I said earlier in the first part of the video, it's 2 dotting tools that you get, and there's 4 different balls, so 4 different sizes of dotting tool. You could use a toothpick, you could use whatever you have. And then when you were done that, you wanted to put it in for a full cure. Now I'm using the smallest liner brush in the Creativity set, and I'm just putting wisps of grass coming from the flowers. So it kind of fills in all of the little gaps. It gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit more detail. You don't have to do this part. It's pretty simple though. You just put a little bit of polish on the brush. You want to make sure that it's nice and thin. Trick to use to get it a little bit thinner if it's too thick and it just keeps balling up on your brush is just spraying some isopropyl alcohol on your palette, or you can dip your brush into the isopropyl if you don't have a spray bottle. I have a little spray bottle. It works fantastic, but it thins it down nicely. And then you want to put it in for a full cure, and then you're going to top it with a nice clear top coat, and then you're going to put that in for a full cure. And then to finish it off, we're just going to use some of the white polish to give the little bit of highlights to the lighter parts. Like if you were to look at a flower, there's, you can see the light shining down from the sun or a lamp or whatever. So you want to put a couple of the white highlights on the top of the flowers just to make it stand out a little bit better. And because you're doing it over the clear top coat, it stands out quite a bit. It kind of makes it almost like a 3D type flower. So it's a really awesome trick, and it makes the flower just look that much more realistic. Again, if you find that your brush is kind of skipping, like it's almost dry with the paint, or it's balling up, it's getting too thick and you just can't make those fine lines, use that trick with the isopropyl alcohol. It works fantastic. It thins it down just enough. Just don't use a lot, because if you use a lot, of course, it's going to become translucent, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of using the polish at all. So there you go. There's your second flower nail art tutorial. I love these type of flowers. They are so pretty and you can do so many things with them. They are so elegant. I just, I have no words for the one stroke. I really recommend it. So those are all 5 of the designs that we did this month for In the Mood. I hope you were able to watch the first part of the video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy the content that I am providing, please like and subscribe. Please comment below and let me know if there's something that you'd like to see that I haven't done yet or have shown you yet. Sometimes people can be one-sided and just do what they like. So if there's something that you see out there that that you'd like to see me do and teach, then by all means, let me know. And for all of you faithful subscribers, I am happy to let you know that I should be posting more regularly in a few months as we have found ourselves a new home and we should be moving in at the end of June. And hopefully by, I would say, hopefully July or August, I'm going to have everything back to normal. So there won't be packing and moving and looking for houses and all of the other stuff that has been preventing me from making content. So bear with me. I am doing the best that I can with the time that I have. And again, thank you for watching and supporting my channel. So I hope that we see you in the next video, and if you haven't joined my Facebook group, please do so now. It is Gellin' with Laurel. The Gellin' with Laurel only has, I think, 1 follower, but the Gellin' with Laurel VIP has a lot more. So make sure you're picking the right group. It is Gellin' with Laurel VIP. Thank you.